Fanzine. A fan magazine. They've been around for decades and are somewhat common among large and/or dedicated enough fan bases, collections of art and writing and whatever, all in the name of fandom. No, not the site fandom, the word/concept fandom. Just within the sphere of video games, there are broad ones like a fighting game fanzine or a Neo Geo fanzine, and there are series-specific ones like Pokemon fanzines or Metal Gear Solid fanzines. Now, however, it's Bloody Roar's turn to step into the fanzine spotlight. Defenders of the Legacy, a fanzine celebrating all things Bloody Roar. The person orchestrating this goes by 556ers, a skilled multimedia artist and writer in her own right. And yes, that name is a Metal Gear Solid reference.
They're armed with 556ers, pineapples.
She grew up with Bloody Roar and it helped her get into fighting games, with a particular interest in the first two games in the series. Finding an online community that still cares about this series shook her BR interest out of its dormancy and, well, here we are. I had a few questions for her about the fanzine, not the least of which being, why now? What went into setting this up? What were the expectations, if any? Well, Five, I'm just gonna call her Five from now on, has participated in a number of fanzines before but never run one herself. She saw it as a way to bring people together and harness aimless inspiration, namely that of people who wanted to do something to show their appreciation for Bloody Roar, but didn't know what to do, how to do it, where to put it, or if anyone would see it or even care about it. It was the initial response to the fanzine interest checks that put those fears to bed. Five got a number of supportive and appreciative messages for getting this going, which was great because going into it, Five's expectations were measured, to be polite, and low, to be blunt. But the initial response, not just from people who wanted to see the fanzine but be active participants in this free passion project, was simply stunning. No, not like the insect. And it just goes to show that whether some corporate suit decides to do anything with the IP again is, to a degree, irrelevant when it comes to fan interest, as the fan base and community can do stuff like this to cultivate attention. Despite some worries about being a good leader for the project, the process of getting everyone coordinated and working on and submitting their stuff for the fanzine was pretty smooth. This is me talking right now, not Five, but it helped that there were a number of moderators on the project with experience setting up fanzines who could help steer the ship when needed. Except for that SCXCR guy, he's just there to feel important. When I asked what surprised Five about doing this, two things stuck out to her. One, there were a number of professional artists and writers who agreed to take part in this free project based around a neglected video game franchise. The second thing was what happened with the interest check versus what people actually made for the fanzine. One interest check included a character popularity poll, where the winner was Sheena/Marvel. Shenlong finished second, and the top 10, aside from the order of the characters, was fairly predictable. Instead of the contributions reflecting those results, people seemed to skew more toward the characters who placed lower or didn't make the list at all. As Five put it, quote, "Everyone just independently decided, we know who's going to get shafted and we need to lift them up." And thus things more or less evened out as far as character representation goes. Currently, Defenders of the Legacy is slated for release sometime in the month of November. I myself have a couple contributions slated to be in it, including a write-up on it and something involving these. I'll leave it to Five to close this video out in her own words. I hope everyone enjoys this collection. We all put a ton of work and love into this project so we could share it with anyone who also appreciates the series, or even anyone who didn't know what Bloody Roar was until now. More broadly, I want it to serve as a reminder that regardless of how active any series is in the minds of the industry, we're the ones who put the work in by loving the things we do. So Bloody Roar is still alive as long as we continue to care about it. It really is that simple.